Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Shamrock FC, 3rd of December. I've got another fight on that I think people need to know about, okay? Last time I spoke to this gentleman, he was in the amateur ranks. Since then, he's exploded into a professional scene. Erion, here we go. Zekthi. Is it Zekthi?
Zekthi.
Sorry?
Zekthi.
Zekthi. Zekthi?
We'll roll with it.
We'll roll with it. You like to call? You like me to call you E? No, Aaron. Look, so you went into pro ranks. You got your win. You're flowing. Everything's going well. How have you found the pro ranks? I know obviously there's not a great, huge deal difference apart from those extra 2 minutes in each round, which actually adds up to 6 minutes, which effectively is 2 rounds in the amateur ranks when you think about it. So it actually is quite a bit more time. Gloves are a little bit smaller, but on the whole, how are you feeling now with the professional ranks?
Honestly, in terms of talent, I feel like because I was fighting, I was moving up different weight classes as an amateur to fight the toughest people that I could. In terms of talent acquisition and like who I'm fighting, I don't feel any different. Trevor was not the toughest opponent I've ever had. So in terms of my experience level, I felt like it was there. The biggest change was, like you said, just the time. I had more time to work, which was actually phenomenal for me. I always come into fights in shape, and I'm always ready. So for me to have that extra time, it allows me to accumulate some of these strikes that don't necessarily finish fights, leg kicks, body shots, and I can see the return on these investments later in the second and the third, and that's kind of what happened in my fight with Trevor. I was really digging into his body, hitting him with some good elbows when I had established the half guard and side control, and then in the second round, I definitely felt him just get very weary. He started tiring out, and then he was just looking for a way out, and I gave it to him.
Such a gent. So like you said, those extra 2 minutes, people don't probably realise, though, how much of a difference it makes. So those body shots, people don't think that body shots are that effective, and I think some people are starting to clock on that it does take a toll, because it does take the breath out of you, and it does weigh you down, like you say. Everything starts to feel heavier. With yourself, with the conditioning, have you kept doing what you've been doing previously, or were you already kind of 5-minute prepped before then, or have you done anything slightly different with maybe do a little bit more running?
I've trained like a professional since like my 4th or 3rd fight as an amateur. I felt like I never trained for the fight ahead of me. I trained for 3 or 4 fights, after that. And I think it just shows now that at an amateur level, no one had an answer for me. And so far in the professional rankings, I'm the talk of the town. I think that my preparation has really just given me the confidence that I need to go in there and perform. Some guys look great in practice and they look great when they're in a comfortable environment. I look fine in the practice room. I look fine in the cage. I've always made it connect, and I feel like my preparation and how I train, I train so diligently, and I train so many different aspects, and I have such good instruction. I love all my coaching staff, from my Muay Thai coach to my Jiu-Jitsu coach to my wrestling coaches. I feel like I have a good team together to really create something special with me, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do December 2nd and, afterwards.
I'm glad that you've got the team, which is big, because sometimes if you've only got a certain coach in that area, sometimes you have to kind of make do, but then that makes a big impact on your performance, because mentally you think you're not getting the best you can get, so maybe you're not going to put the best you out there. So having having that link of everything connecting makes a big difference, because that's confidence there in you straight away. When you go into that cage, you go, man, my coaches are beasts, I'm a beast, you're getting smashed. Confidence wise, then, before you even step in there, you must just feel a lot more relaxed because you're so confident.
I was actually having a conversation with some other fighters too, and we were all kind of discussing like how we feel about going into a fight, and I mean, there was some common ground. Everyone gets nervous.
Yeah. Everyone
wants to win. No one wants to lose. But then they started saying some shit that I just couldn't. I wasn't feeling. They were like, "Oh yeah, I get scared, and I'm worried about what he's gonna do." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? There's never like an ounce of doubt in my mind from camp to weigh-ins when I face off with my opponent. I know exactly what I'm gonna do, regardless if they're beasts or not. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We'll go in, I'm going to work my game 100%. I don't care what he's going to do. I don't care what he's got. I have prepared for this fight a year ago. Explain to me why I'm not ready. He should be worried about what I'm going to do. He should be worried about what I'm going to do in that cage when it's just me and him alone. You know, going in, I have such confidence and such regard for my abilities that I feel like I'm untouchable. And I know that might not necessarily be the case because it's MMA and everything can happen. But in my opinion, if you're a fighter and you're going in there with doubt, it'll show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll only grow from there. You need to have a steel heart and a steel mind, and you need to go in there with no doubts, no fears. You need to go in there ready and excited. You should be happy to be there.
Yeah,
I never felt more alive than being in the cage.
I love it. When I get in the cage, I feel so relaxed. It sounds silly, but you just feel at ease when you're in there. Because obviously someone wants to punch your face in, but you know, it's a weird. It's so hard to explain to someone who's never done it. You know what it is, but it is. You just like, I'm at home. You know, I feel just so happy to be here. And you're just like, man, I just want to give that guy a hug, and then punch his face, and then give him a hug after. That's the thing about the sport. It's so quick. It's weird, man. You'll beat the crap out of each other, and you'll give a hug afterwards. I think that's why I love it as well. You know, there's just that embrace of kind of camaraderie and respect. You know, because it takes a lot of balls to step in there. You know that yourself. Doesn't matter who it is. If it's stepping in there, it takes a lot. Your opponent. What do you know about him? Have you researched him? Have you looked into Demetrius Wilson yourself, or do you just not care?
He's a typical linear wrestler bum. Honestly, like nothing he's ever done excites me. He's 3-1 right now. If you look at all three of his wins, they're against nobodies. And you look at his loss, and his loss is against a stud. You know what I mean? So I'm about to put another loss on that record. He's 3-1 right now, and everyone's he's ever beaten, even at the amateur levels, has never really had a name. And in my eyes, Demetrius is your classic, 500 local fighter, local pro.
Yeah.
He'll win some, he'll lose some, but forevermore, he's going to be known as a stepping stool for real fighters like me.
Yeah.
2 years from now, 3 years from now, when I'm on Bellator or I'm in the UFC, he's going to be telling his girl while he's sitting on the couch, like, oh, yeah, I fought that guy. He whooped my ass. That's what I know about my fighter.
He'll be I recognize that guy. I don't know where from, though. Yeah.
Trust me. I'll make sure he'll never forget me.
I like this. Well, I was going to say, because I saw that he was 3-1, had a look at him as well. And I suppose having that confidence of knowing what you're going to do, because you are a guy who, like you said before, you want to fight the best in the amateur ranks, the best you can find, the best you can get out there. And that shows that you're wanting to fight the best to test yourself. You have skills. You have skill sets yourself. You've got good X, Y, and Z. You want to see what someone who is the best around that you can get to test you, to see where you are with them, and that's a big thing, because you can't grow if you're fighting a bum. And what I mean by that is you can fight a guy who's like 1-10 or even 0-10. You're not going to get enough out of there to show yourself what you need to do.
It's so true. Our sport's littered with guys with winning records.
Oh, huge.
Guys come in, they're journeyman losers, and that's what he's. For the majority, I don't want to, knock on the guys that he's beaten, because I don't know them. But even at the amateur level, these guys, I've never heard of anybody. None of them strike me as people that I was like, oh, really? You beat a guy who's 1-7. The dude's 1-7, and that's who your pro debut was against. Yet my pro debut was against Trevor Ward, who was 5-3, training out of Jackson Winklejohn, fought in Japan, training with some of the best in the world. That's who I choose for my first pro fight. The difference in this fight is the difference in mentality. He's a pussy, and I'm a real fighter. And come December 2nd, they'll see the difference in that. I'm not afraid to get in there with anybody. If you've been knocking cats out, if you're an athletic beast, if you're at 145, 135, 125, I don't give a fuck. If you're the guy that has a name, I'm coming after you because I'm trying to make a name for myself. And in this sport, there's not enough food at the table for everybody.
Nope.
If you want a plate, you got to take it from someone else.
Oh,
I'll never let anyone take my plate.
No, you're greedy. You don't share. You're like Joey from Friends. Speaking about, you said the weight classes there. I was curious about, did you have an idea of where you want to be at pro weight class? Or are you happy physically to go and fluctuate a little bit for now and then maybe find in time a weight class that you're happy with?
I see myself, if I want to be competitive, right? If we're talking, let's be real now. If I want to go to the next level, it's got to be 35 or 25.
Okay.
But at the same time, there's some 45ers in the area that are got some big names, and I want to test myself. I don't understand how I can be successful in the national scene or international scene if I can't even be successful in the local scene by beating everybody at any weight class? But if we're to be frank, the goal right now is to keep tagging out these wins, get the 135-pound belt from Shamrock FC, and then cut down to 125, or possibly cut down to 125 before then, see how it feels and all that. But I will be a dual-weight champion. I feel like I can easily do that at 35 and 25. 35 is getting so easy to make now, it's making me think, why not go down to 25,
Nice.
I've been competitive at 35. I've been competitive at 45. I think I would absolutely murder at 25. So I think, honestly, in a year, 2 years, maybe I have 3 belts. Who knows? We'll see how this thing goes.
Yeah, well, look, there's nothing to stop you. If you've got the mentality for it, you're winning. You're physically good for it as well. As long as you're good at that weight, there's nothing to stop you other than yourself. That is the only thing that can stop you, man. And a lot of things that people don't realize is the mental side of the game. You've got a strong mentality, which helps an abundance to get you those victories. Physical capabilities are great. You'd be like Bob Sapp. Bob Sapp, let's be honest, he was a genetic freak of steroids, but it doesn't matter. He was still just this gigantic thing. Like if he hit you once, it's going to change your world. But man, these days you just tap him on the shoulder, he falls down. It's a mentality, if he had that right mentality, he could have went through anybody. No one would have gone near him, but he didn't. He did at the start, and then he started to go. And this is the thing, you've got that mentality, so to really push yourself and really go for those kind of dreams of the double weight class, even triple weight class, you've got that capability because you've got the mindset, and you're starting there right now. Come December, you're going to go and get that victory. That's your end of year done. You've got your goal set, and then 2017. There's a lot of time in 2017, sir, to get whatever you need out of there. There's plenty of time to have a bit of fun, start stretching yourself out there with, getting your name out as well.
Yeah, 2017 is going to be my year. The only reason I only had 4 fights this year was because I had a car accident in the middle of the summer after the Cortavius fight, and that set me back 3 months. But make no mistake, I've said this with my coaching staff. I've said this with the president of Shamrock FC. Like, if I'm not in Bellator or, working my way for like the UFC by the end of 2017, I did something wrong in my career. Yeah. I see myself 2-0, and I see myself fighting 5-6 times next year. Shamrock wants to fight me. I'm a big draw here in St. Louis. I got a lot of hype behind me right now. I need to keep the ball rolling. I feel like activity in this sport is everything. Yeah. Because there are no seasons. You need to fight year round. If you're not fighting like every 2-3 months, then you're doing something wrong. And I see guys that are like complaining about fights, like, oh, I've only fought, once or twice this year. I need a fight. Go out there and fucking get a fight. I've never had to ask for a fight. This fight with Trevor ended on a Friday. I had my next bout agreement signed on Sunday for this December 2nd card. Fights find me. If you go out there and you throw your neck on the line, trust me, guys will come. They'll line up for you because they know that you got the name now. Yeah. So for me, inactivity is never going to be an issue. I just got to make sure I'm healthy. Yes. I have a plethora of guys lining up thinking they want me, but that's the mistake they're making. So I'll be more than happy to make a name off theirs.
And for people at home who want to follow you, because you've telling you what, they want to get following you now, join you on this journey, part of the freight train that's coming. How do they join you on social media? How can they Facebook, Twitter, whatever you've got, man? What is it?
So I recently, I've always had a Facebook. You can add me on Facebook at Erion Zekthi. I haven't made a fan page yet because I haven't hit the 5,000 friend mark. Once I hit that, maybe we'll see. I enjoy interacting more with the fans. Like I love it when people message me and I actually get to talk with people. It's been really both humbling and just energetic. The people start to drive you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like them being excited for your fight is huge. You're like, oh man, that's a huge honor. So you can follow me at you can add me on Facebook at Erion Zekthi. I recently made a Twitter at the Albanian one, and then I just got on Instagram as well. Once again, Erion Zekthi. So if you're looking to follow an Albanian guy who talks a lot of shit, I'm your man.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that is the site to get onto. I will put the links in the description below, so you can all click on this. And then obviously sponsors. Who's helping you out with fight camps, man? Who's backing you up?
I'll be honest with you. At first, I thought maybe that would be something hard to find, is people backing me, because I don't want just anyone to be sponsoring me. I want to actually believe in the product as well. I can't thank Sub-Zero Cryotherapy enough. They have just taken my body to the next level. I used to train so hard, and I used to have this mentality of like, oh, if you're hurting, just fight through it, being a pussy. and they're the ones who really sat me down and said, hey, listen, you need to listen to your body. You need to be more reactive and sometimes proactive. So they've been really taking care of my body with cryotherapy, massage therapy, oxygen tanks, all these different forms of therapy, and it's really made a difference, not in terms of how I feel in camp, but also how close to 100% I am going into a fight.
Yeah.
So I can't thank Sub-Zero Cryotherapy enough. Also, G&B Beard Oils. I don't know if you've noticed this fantastic face rug.
It was not. It wasn't a bad attempt, sir. Not a bad attempt.
Yeah, I mean, it was a beard oil company that my buddy actually, he started a vape flavor company, and he's been branching out, and they've been huge financial supporters of me, so I can't thank them enough. They've really kind of opened doors for me. And then also Fighting for Autism, Brian Higginbotham and what he's been able to do here at the local MMA scene has just been fantastic. And for me to even have the opportunity to be a fight ambassador for such a great cause, I'm absolutely honored. Brian is a great graphic designer, does fantastic work on banners, and I'm just absolutely ecstatic to even be, someone that they want to do business with. So Fighting for Autism, Sub-Zero Cryotherapy, and GMP Beard Oil. And as always, the Wolves Den, the place where I train and call home. Those are some fantastic guys and gals, and I couldn't think of me making it this far if I didn't have them. So much respect to all parties.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in to Shamrock FC and watch a future superstar make his mark. You can go on to shamrockfc.com, I think it is, ladies and gentlemen, and you can watch it on, I think it's like pay-per-view. You can watch it, you can stream it. Get on, watch this. If you're not watching it, people, you're not a fan of MMA. But thank you very much for coming on. Have a great fight camp. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. And I know you'll enjoy yourself at Shamrock FC. I know Jesse looks after the people there. I know you've been on there, so you know what's coming. You're going to have a great weekend. It's going to be good vibes and it's just a good build up to the Christmas period. So I obviously have a great Christmas and New Year.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure and a huge honor to be on the show. I can't thank you guys enough.